As of today, 3 important things happen in regards to the lore of the Backrooms web series. The South Bay Bulletin Board granting access, an Instapendo livestream, and a new Backrooms promo dropping this day. The second one is not of much importance, so I'll discuss the first and third one instead. But don't get me wrong, it was a fire livestream. I love the songs, but this is besides the point. Let's focus on the first one for now. A few hours ago, as of writing this, the South Bay Bulletin Board archive has granted me access to review a portion of the original message boards and directory. This bulletin board is canonically specifically linked to the Backrooms movie itself, providing what might be insightful lore drops and information regarding the story that Kane is trying to tell us. So for background context, a month ago I was informed by my fellow tourists about this website and how it is directly connected to the Backrooms movie as part of an advertisement campaign by A24. I immediately, no thoughts whatsoever as the good tourist I am, provided the website my email address and phone number, instantly dismissing even the idea of potentially getting screwed by a virus hiding in this website. I frankly couldn't care less. I'll do anything for Backrooms lore, can you blame me? For quite a while, we didn't have access to the actual website and we were put on hold, but now, after a long time of waiting, we do. Upon entering the website, we are greeted with 4 options: bulletins, directory, and information. The bulletins is where the real meat of this ARG comes from, as we get to scour multiple message boards from around the timeline of the Backrooms movie and web series as a whole. The first board is from the 15th of March 1990 from Be Kind Rewind and details someone dumping trash in the Fremont parking lot, which has attracted an army of seagulls that has been terrorizing shoppers and keeping them out of stores. The police were called, but unfortunately they were unable to apprehend any of the seagulls responsible for this horrible crime. The second board is from the 13th of March 1990 from SCU Admin and is an advertisement for SCU's summer session at Santa Clara University. It offers a variety of programs with applications starting being accepted on April 18th. There is nothing much to note here except for the fact that the summer session starts on the 29th of May, which is the same date that Static Dead End takes place. The third board is from the 8th of January 1990 from Next Door 247 and calls for people to be on the lookout for a thief that stole a stop sign on the corner of Rollaway Drive and Discovery Avenue, which has been the 3rd time this has happened so far. It's almost like this unknown person is a stop sign bandit, a pirate, you could say. The fourth board is the furthest back in time, out of all of them being set in the 9th of November 1989, and is an announcement from Town Hall about a proposed condominium building review. City Hall encourages community members to attend, ask questions and raise concerns with local officials and representatives from Revachon Ventures, which is a reference to Julian Revachon from King's Other series The Oldest View. The meeting is noted to be on the 5th of December at 6 AM at 1500 Warburton Avenue, City Council Chambers. The 5th and last board is from the 2nd of April 1990 by Rogue Goblin, and just seems to be an invitation for a Dungeons & Dragons campaign at Comic Collector Shop 73E San Fernando. So what is one to make of this? Well, I would assume that at least one of the given boards in this archive is at least related to the lore of the Backrooms, but I will also admit to the fact that some of these boards are most likely unrelated to anything that we're trying to learn. Not necessarily red herrings per se, but more like world building to the Backrooms story to make it feel more real. Maybe Clark has been the one dumping trash in the Fremont parking lot from board 1, but that seems unlikely as he stores what he's found in the basement of his store. What is interesting though is the third board, which details someone that has been stealing stop signs in San Jose before the 8th of January 1990. If we were to assume that this is Clark, that would mean that Clark has been entering and leaving the complex for about 6 months now, which is a much longer period of time than we originally believed. Plotting all these locations on this map shows that Clark's store is in the general vicinity of these places. Well, we know that Clark took an inverted stop sign from the complex, and maybe for some odd reason Clark just wanted to have a real stop sign to compare with the complex's one. And that he's been stealing stop signs from real life and far away from his store in order to have that comparison. Do note that from the email provided by the website, these boards are not the only boards that are present, only the ones that we are allowed to see. Perhaps there had been more boards by Clark himself inquiring about a strange yellow-walled space he found in his basement, but was taken down in order to hide the existence of the complex. Now onto much more important news. Diving in immediately, we see Mary finding the null zone into the complex in Clark's basement, slowly approaching the entrance marked with blue tape. We notice wind chimes on the ceiling, which is a motif commonly associated with Ivan Beck, the head of the KV-31 project, who I discussed in my previous video. We then have a wide shot of Mary stunned as she is now in the complex, which shows an empty room, missing the large pile of furniture in the middle when Clark found it. What a greedy pirate, Clark. He really just took everything back into his shop and sold it off? He really spent hours just shoving thing after thing through that small entrance. Insane. He does release an advertisement of his store on the 17th of May, which may be a result of him plundering furniture from the complex and selling them for dirt cheap to make a profit for his struggling store. Who knows? It also appears that Clark's two employees, Kane and Bobby, are probably partners. And Clark is asking for a hammer for some odd reason, probably to open up a locked drawer or bash through a door he's found in the complex. Next, we see what seems to be an acing researcher stumbling across what might seem to be a dead bird on the floor of the complex, only for it to wake up and take flight. We then see a flock of birds in the next shot, which really could possibly make the inference that one of these birds fell through a null zone, suffering a pretty bad impact, which will make this the first ever animal no-clipping incident that we've seen so far. And if these birds manage to stumble across a null zone, it seems that this man, who appears to be in the proximity, might suffer the same level of bad luck too. But that's just the theory. We then finally learn what's inside the bag that Clark found in the official trailer, revealing an official acing card for someone with what seems to be a clearance of Q3. Other things inside include a cassette tape, a box, and a plethora of key cards. One of those cards has the name Beck on it, alongside what seems to be Pathway and V4. Why would this bag have the key card for the head of the KV-31 project himself, the most mysterious man in the entire web series, someone who hasn't even showed up at any point in this show? We know that this is Ivan Beck due to the green strip on the top of his card compared to the yellow strips on the cards below him, as green hazmat suits are meant for only supervisors, which Ivan is, meaning that the green we see on this key card means that this key card is from a supervisor, which is Ivan Beck. We see this insane shot of a completely disorienting room of a bathroom with a statue of a head and pipes all around and these weird sinks and these distorted tiles. Like, oh my god, there's not much to say here, but it certainly looks cool. We then see Clark trying to flee something or someone, which probably leads to this shot of Clark realizing the entrance has been sealed. Doing this, by the way, Clark is narrating about how these rooms are misremembering themselves, but that they are also beautiful. It shows that the complex is not just remembering things down on Earth, but its own stuff too. We then see Kat attack Bobby at the slope, and then what is a very surprising shot of Clark and Mary in the complex, together. I did not think they would show this, as I thought they would at least play it up for the mystery of whether Mary could find Clark, but here it is, just show this card. It's like, wow, really? In the trailer, in the promo? Like, you gonna do this? Wow, that's really an interesting choice, I might say. We then get a quick flash of multiple shots, including a picture of Splendor, an imported painting in the Backrooms floor, an empty hazmat suit overtaken by this filth, which might signify the first ever acing researcher death in the complex, and Kat running away at the bottom of the slope, as we see the hand of the camera operator getting dragged away, which might signify that Bobby will die in the movie and that Clark might go back to retrieve the camera himself to collect the evidence. There were also a few other shots, but these were the most major ones. I also have to say I love the liminal spaces I'm seeing in this movie, like, more please, holy. Also, for some reason, there's this realtor guy touring the official set of the Backrooms movie. Nothing much to be extracted here, there's nothing major that we see except for this wallpaper again, which we see in this shot and in this shot. So, yeah, just so we all know. In terms of discussion, this trailer really does show a lot of things, such as, of course, showing that Mary does successfully find Clark. When she does find him, however, note that she does not have any blood on her unlike this shot, meaning that Clark and Mary likely get split as a result of an entity they encounter in the complex. If we are to believe an acing researcher dies here and that Clark's employee Bobby gets mauled to death in this scene, that pushes the kill count in this story to 2, as well as having the first acing death so far. This might cause KV-31 to get shut down due to this incident and what has conspired in this movie. Next up, why is Ivan's keycard in this bag? Why did someone hide it all the way out here with a bunch of what I'll assume to be incriminating cassettes or personal audio logs serving as a diary? Plus a bunch of other keycards, so yeah. If you want to hide something, the best place to do it would seem to be the complex, but why are you hiding it in the first place? One suggestion is that it was hidden by Norman Warren, a character we learned of from this image that Kane posted in the Discord server before deleting it. He is believed to be a character that will be featured in this movie. He and 2 other researchers apparently discovered something here, which might be the remains of Bobby in this shot. I really want to theorize more, but to be frank, I'm gonna have to take a while to fully process my thoughts. I just need to pump out a video for pride's sake. Be aware, these are just my initial thoughts so far, and that information regarding the movie is coming out at lightning pace, like holy. So these may be rendered inaccurate soon. Other than that, there is nothing left to be extracted from this video.